day. Uh, my name is Eliasim Timunye. I'm the section ranger for Tsitsikamma National Park. And I'm with my colleague, Zotom Velankubi, is the chief inspector from DFFE. And we solely working together mostly because we're working on areas with similar interest on law enforcement. And she's here today joining us. And okay, we'll firstly like to thank the NVT for allowing us to just give a feedback and an overview of our management and operational presentation. And I think it's always important just to give back so that at least then everyone knows what we do on the other side or on the back side. So we'll just maybe, I will start first by just give an overview presentation of what we currently do. Is that we promote conservation, we ensure that there's restoration, we promote the sustainable utilization of our marine resources, either on the marine side or even on the terrestrial. I will simply just show you an overview of the map and the key responsibilities and all the challenges at the end. So this is our staff component. We have two senior section rangers. One is for the marine and then one is for terrestrial. And with terrestrial, you'll have your indigenous forest and you'll have your terrestrial. And with the marine, we're only focusing on the coastal zones of the park. And therefore, we have the 4 section rangers, which 2 are responsible for marine and 2 are responsible for terrestrial and indigenous forest. And we have 2 sergeants, 6 sergeants. 2 will have 2. Each section ranger will have 2, and then we have Blowgransfield because of from Scott Hart all the way to Matches River. Then that's my key responsibility, which is the section ranger will be stationed in Blowgrounds, but focusing in all those areas in collaboration with different stakeholders as well. We have your Storms River East. They are mostly based at Storms River Mouth and responsible for the day and the otter trails within the park. You'll have the Storms River East Marine. They are solely focusing mostly on the marine component of the park. And then we also have the terrestrial field rangers, which is only 7. And their key responsibilities, it will be fire, general maintenance as well. And you'll have your additional conservation team, which is the biodiversity and social projects team from EPWP. It will be environmental monitors. And amongst everyone that is within our organogram is that our key responsibilities is to ensure that there's full compliance on all our environmental legislations, which is the Biodiversity Act, the Protected Areas Act, Marine Living Resources Act, Integrated Coastal Management Act, and more. So with all these, you will still have your general working and infrastructure management. You'll have your stakeholder engagement and a liaison officer. You'll still have the teams that will simply prioritize stakeholder engagement and community engagement. So the staff component in total and overall sense is 69, doing all different and responsibilities. Okay, the park management areas as per the hectare, the total hectares of the park is 149,922, and all that is proclaimed is only 74,922, but unproclaimed it's only 40,000 rand. And just to explain more on the unproclaimed one is that we're managing different areas from all the way from woodlands up to Misrand, we've got some areas at Lutherwater, we've got some areas at Misrand, Jopetina site, and even Kerboms, of which some of those areas are not yet proclaimed, but they are within our park management. We've got the marine component, which is 34,300 hectares, stretching from the point 60 kilometers along the coastline up to from Groot River West up to Groot River East. I will show you briefly or shortly on the map. We've got the terrestrial coastal, which is 1,960 hectares, and the Vasselot is 2,560 hectares. The indigenous forest is 51,500 hectares, and the contractual areas, which is Soetkraal, 24,392 hectares, and by the Wet van Vegte, I hope I've got it right, it's 210 hectares. And our main hotspots is the indigenous forest from Coldstream, Storms River, and Nompumelelo. Nompumelelo is on the eastern side, and the main hotspots, or what created this area, made these areas to be hotspots, is that we're having illegal harvesting of medicinal plants, we're having illegal harvesting of timber, we're having illegal harvesting of different vegetation like flowers, and most of our snares, we find them in those indigenous areas. So another hotspot is that it's on the MPA, which is the 60-kilometer stretch, which it goes to, it runs from Groot River West all the way to Groot River East. And we're having abalone poaching, illegal harvesting of fishing, and there's overfishing as well. And we've got Grootbank, which is one of the hotspots of abalone poaching. Brakrivier, another hotspot of abalone poaching and illegal fishing. Salt River is one hotspot in which we're experiencing almost everything. We've got pollution, we've got abalone poaching, we've got illegal fishing taking place, and at Salt River, you'll have in a single night, you'll have plus minus 45 fishermen, and by then you're only having 3 law enforcement officials working overall during the night. So it becomes very difficult for us to even manage some of those areas, except when we're having an operation, which I will explain in detail. You'll have your Blue Rocks. Previously in 2024, 2025, we've arrested abalone poachers within Blue Rocks area, and they were plus minus using 10 vehicles, coming all the way from Gamsbaai, Delft, Port Elizabeth, and Jeffreys Bay. I will explain that in detail. I just wanted to give you an overview of why we've categorized all those hotspots and what lies within different hotspots. And this is our map. My area, to be precise, it starts from Bosco all the way up to this side. That's my management. It falls under my management area. And the whole area, even going on the other side, it falls onto the other section rangers, obviously. We coordinate, we integrate, and we ensure that at least there's effective management within the parks, within the parks management plan as well. So we have the Tsitsikamma MPA, and with the Tsitsikamma MPA, that's where we're managing the oldest MPA, which was proclaimed in 1964. And within this, or the main objective to secure and implement this as per the NEMPA section 22A was to ensure that we protect the marine component of it, the marine species that are highly exploited by commercial fishermen. And so we kept this area as pristine as it is so that we can allow exploited fish and give them a refuge. We somehow having some of the challenges within even the MPA side, and I will just briefly show you on the map. And as you can see, the blue area, it's a no-take zone. The whole area this side is a no-take zone, and it's highlighted in blue. And the coastal control zones, these are the zones, which is 1, as 2, as 3. 1 is in Coldstream, and these 2, they fall within the Eastern Cape boundaries. But we're having this control zone. They constitute plus minus 21% of the MPA. And with our MPA, we are the only MPA with the coastal control zone. Our MPA, it was completely closed. It was only amended and reproclaimed in 2016 with the objective to allow the local and neighboring communities to have access to the MPA and fish. Since it was the longest MPA ever proclaimed, and therefore the livelihood and the social lives of our local communities, you're looking at Coldstream, you look at Kelland, you look at Covey, they were solely restricted on ensuring that they go and fish within the MPA. And therefore, that's where the whole objective of coming up with the control zones it was initiated. And in overall, with the achievements, insofar we have effective anti-poaching operations working hand in hand with Border Police, DFFE, and Cape Nature and all other relevant stakeholders. We are achieving with our prescribed bans, and we ensure that there's compliance on fire management, there's maintenance of fire breaks, and we've got the memorandum of agreement with MTO. We are one park in which we have established a base inside the park, which is the NSRI, and we also having the satellite base inside Tsitsikamma at Storms River. So they simply just allow us and ensure that they assist and aid, support in terms of trainings, in terms of search and rescues. We're having a lot of search and rescues within the Tsitsikamma. So we've ensured that we've trained the rangers with the firearm training with all unit standards. And this, it was an idea that came after in 2023 where we arrested abalone poachers that were fully armed and we're not armed. So that's where the objective it was initiated, and luckily we were able to get funding so that everyone can be fully equipped with all the unit standards. We've got the skippers training and the coastal training as well. We've got a few pilots in the park. We've got remote pilot license certification, and it's 6 of us. So from time to time, whenever you see a drone, please don't hesitate to report it. Either it can be me or it can be anyone in contravention of our legislations. And we've achieved with our sole aim a state of integrity management, and we've surpassed all the regions overall with the 3.03%. And we're very effective on implementing the safety and security plan within our areas. I've compiled these stats just to give you an overview and insight of what has transpired, what we have done, and with all the non-environmental crimes that we've came under. And insofar, these stats, it's only for 2025-2026. It's only one financial year. And on your left-hand side, you'll see the number of occurrences, and we only had 2 damage to property. There was a breaking at one of our huts at Oakast, but luckily we've arrested some of those suspects. and we're having a lot of damages on our infrastructure, and we're looking into that as well. So those are the two that have been recorded for 2025-2026. And the bodies recovered, it's only one. There was one gentleman that got lost on the hiking trail, and we managed to assist with the search and rescue along the Tsitsikama hiking trail, and we've managed to recover the body. It was unfortunate that he was found passed on. And the admission of guilt fines from 2024 to 2025 under the National Environmental Management of Protected Areas Act is only 13. And we've only issued more on the Marine Living Resources Act, hence it's 58. That the majority of those fines, they're from Salt River and Nature's Valley. So that's why we're having a lot of challenges, whereby in a single night, you'll have plus minus 45 to 50 fishermen. So some of those fines were issued on the operations that we've conducted. Pekota will conduct maybe one major operation where we involve all law enforcement stakeholders, and which it will be DFFE, Border Police, Cape Nature, SANParks, and our environmental crime management investigators as well. So we having a slight decline in terms of the non-compliances on our National Forest Act. It's only one gentleman that we found the whole year who was chopping the trees, and yet he was issued with a fine. So clearly we don't have major challenges in terms of how we manage the National Forest, how we implement the National Forest Act, but yet at least then we are happy that there's compliance to all the neighboring communities. And the incidents that we had, we've issued one fine on the drone, and the search and rescues that we've conducted, it's 6, and some of them obviously, those that we've rescued were found to be deceased, and which is unfortunate. And the poaching incidents, we only had 2, whereby we've arrested, it was the 6th of February, where we arrested the 3 abalone poachers all the way from Cape Town, and with existing warrant of arrest, and that's the challenge that we cumulatively having, and we are addressing that through implementation of late and overnight operations and regular patrols and visibility even on the coastline. And the fires that we had, I'm sure you've seen, for those that were here in December, we had plus minus, we had a fire that started burning from the 22nd, which was a natural fire. It was caused by a lightning. It started from the 22nd up to the 15th. It burned all the way from Kerboms up to Mischand. So from day to day, we had to drive plus minus 300 km to go to Mischand and put down that fire, because it had a severe impact on infrastructure and citrus farms on the other areas, and we've made sure that at least we preserve life and infrastructure, and we were successful on that. It burned plus minus 22,500 hectares from Kerboms up to Mischand. And we will also like to extend our gratitude to thank everyone who has assisted by donating water and any other supplements, because as per our request, and indeed it was fulfilled. We greatly appreciate it. And with the other incidents is that it will only be minor and petty incidents that we'll have in the park. Just recently we had a bus with an oil leak. So those are some of the incidents which they fall under other. In terms of stakeholder engagement, we're having a continuous joint operation with SAPS, Cape Nature, DFFE, SANDF, the Navy, SARS Custom, Provincial and Local Traffic Department, Home Affairs, and SAMSA. We form part of the Operation Pakisa and the N2 corridor, which conducts roadblocks on monthly basis. And with the rescue, we also having a good relationship with the municipality, the NSRI, and the emergency medical services. We also having a very good relationship with Mountain to Sea, the Fire Protection Association, and different stakeholders like Nature's Valley Trust and NVRA. And as a collective, we can proudly say we're doing a lot, and with the assistance of the relevant residents that are mostly giving us information, and with that we greatly appreciate it as well. And the challenges that we're having in the park is that we have an open access park, so it gives everyone access at any time. So it becomes very problematic and challenging for us to manage all our areas within our management There's illegal access on the MPA as well. People are not compliant to the legislations that have been gazetted, that they should be in and out at a certain period of time. And there's illegal fishing and abalone poaching within our area. There's limited staff capacity, and as you know, we had the biodiversity and social projects whereby we will be supplemented with environmental monitors, but the program has ended now due to depletion of funds from DFFE. So we currently incapacitated at the moment. And there's budget constraints as well. We're lacking resources and equipment and some sort of priority trainings for law enforcement on the marine side. We having high proliferation of alien invasive species. There's high infestation within the area of alien plants, and as you go, it's not you'll see alien plants anywhere. So we're having such challenges, and due to budget cuts and lack of funding from DFFE, we tend to struggle to ensure that at least we eradicate and control alien plants that are within the area. And with Giorgio assisting us, and it's not really sufficient enough as much as it's doing a great job, because we need more teams like the ones we had. There's budget cuts, and some of those teams that you've seen or that you used to see along the coast where they assisted us by cleaning the beach and ensuring that they cut all the trees, all the alien plants or trees within our areas, not all of them will come back, so we'll be incapacitated. The regular closure of Grot River, we're slightly having a challenge with that as well. And the climate change, I'm sure you've also observed along the lagoon, there's some erosion that is taking place, which either it can be caused by fishermen that are collecting bait, or it is as a result of climate change. We're still investigating that as it stands. And you look at the water level and the sea rise level, you'll clearly see that our area or the coastline along the valley, it has changed. We have an increased sea water level within the area. And damage to MPA infrastructure and deterioration of access roads, it stands a major challenge as well. And lack of law enforcement equipment like night visions, binoculars, it also one sort of a challenge because of our supply chain management, and we somehow lacking, and they take a very long time. For us to get things, it takes a very long process, and once it prolongs the process, we suffer at the ground because we cannot carry out our mandate as per the environmental requirement. And the slipway challenge, we're only having one slipway, which is at Storms River mouth. Sometimes it's a challenge whereby we are notified to say there's a boat either on the, or that is believed to be on the MPA. We can't even launch immediately and go and inspect that vessel, because we're only having one slipway, which it becomes very challenging even for us to launch during unfavorable weather conditions. We're having pollution along the coastline and animal strandlings. We've cleaned up several times at Salt River. It's a continuous problem, and we're still trying to figure and come up with possible measures that we can put in place to ensure that at least Salt River is clean. And by that, we've identified that we have to do a lot of environmental awarenesses and invite maybe fishing clubs, so that at least we can highlight the issue of pollution that we find along the coastline. And fires, that's the main challenge, because sometimes it's man-made, which obviously it ends up threatening life, infrastructure, and the whole environment. And we will simply like to request anyone who can come up with maybe possible solutions or mitigation measures to all the challenges to come and assist us. We really need your assistance, your guidance, and support in ensuring that we eliminate all these challenges. And in overall sense, we would like to thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Zodwa Mvelakube. I'm a fishery control officer / marine conservation inspector, head chief in Neisner. Actually, we were supposed to have two presentations, which was going to be SANParks and then DFFE. But because the time was so small, then we could not. When I was sitting there, I was listening to Elias, I was like, it's 45 minutes, we are above time, so I'm not gonna talk too much, but I just wanted to introduce our office. Our office is in Cape Town, the head office, and then my office is in Neisner. We have 3 officials there, honorary marine conservation inspectors that are 2 on contract basis. Their contract is ending in 2028. Then it's me. I wanted to introduce Operation Pakisa. The office is in George at Sea Border. We have a coordinator there who is a link where we need to have operations in our area. My area is starting from Storms River all the way to Kaiman, next to George. In our department, we have 3 directorates under the Chief Directorate, Monitoring, Surveillance and Control. The other directorates are compliance, and then we're having Marine Protection Vessel, and then we are having M&S, which is monitoring and surveillance. They are doing investigations. We are working hand in hand with the stakeholders that Elias explained, which is customs, BMA, Sea Border, SAPS local, like your Storms River, all the way to George. We are also working hand in hand with our officials in Mossel Bay, Still Bay, and Jeffreys Bay from time to time. So what I want to say is that we have to work together as the community, because we cannot do it alone, as Elias stated. I want to state that it's on record that we planned and executed 12 operations 2024-2025 financial year, except the other areas that I'm managing, like Wilderness, Neisner, and Cape Nature. Of course, Hokama is also working with us hand in hand. So our area is vast. We need cooperation and assistance from the community. We do have the honorary program also, where the community can join so that we work hand in hand. My time is limited. It has been finished by Elias, but it was important because he is local. Thank you so much.